Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is going to be signing Senate Bill 1 today. It's just one of more than 400 pieces of legislation on his desk. And what exactly does it do? Well, it creates a new state agency that's expected to initially cost $14 million more in the state budget. And then the costs could grow even more once the entirety of the new state agency is implemented over several years. It is Illinois in Focus. I'm Greg Bishop. Thanks for hanging out. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell with America's Talking Network so you can stay updated with Illinois in Focus daily as we give you the headlines that you need to know to get your day going. So let's talk about Senate Bill 1. What exactly is it? It is a measure that Governor J.B. Pritzker several months ago, I think late last year, he actually proposed having an independent state agency that deals with early childhood development. And this would take services from a variety of other already existing state agencies and have them all into one state agency with greater oversight, greater efficiencies, possible savings. Some people, though, don't see it that way and are worried that creating a new state agency could create even more bloat within government. But let's go back to the record here and watch what happened on the Senate floor when this came up, and a little bit more of an explanation from State Senator Kimberly Lightford, who is the majority leader of the Democrats in the Illinois Senate.
A place where we have the proposal to unite all of our state early childhood services into one new state agency titled the Department of Early Childhood. Uniting early childhood services in Illinois can make access to services simple, better, and more fair for families with young children and make more efficient use of state resources. Currently, most early childhood programs are split across 3 state agencies. We have programs in the Department of Human Services, at the Illinois State Board of Education, and at the Department of Children and Family Services. In this effort, we are going to ensure that this legislation does not substantially change early childhood programs or service delivery at this point, and we're kind of slow walking it to make sure the transfer works well. So we create this department effective July 1 of 24. We transfer all statutory authority to administer the early childhood programs from the 3 previous agencies I mentioned beginning July 1 of 26. And we're requiring the new Department of Early Childhood to designate a body by July 1 of 26 to advise the department on an ongoing basis, ensuring its functions are transparent, operates with a commitment to racial equity, and devotes attention to data collection and timely public reporting.
So again, that's Kimberly Lightford. She is the majority leader in the Illinois Senate, and the measure did get support from Republicans in the Senate. It passed unanimously back in April, Senate Bill 1, creating a new Department of Early Childhood. The governor expected to sign this bill today with a signing ceremony up in Chicago this afternoon. Here is Republican State Senator Tom Bennett talking about the measure and how he says that it could really bring about some efficiencies for taxpayers with greater oversight of agencies like the Department of Children and Family Services, especially with the child care licensing component that's going to be moving out of DCFS, which has been troubled for years, into a standalone state agency. Here's State Senator Tom Bennett.
$4 billion that is now in our different agencies, bringing together under one roof, will helpfully bring together efficiencies and help this move forward. I know several senators over the years have gotten calls from folks that are trying to start daycare centers, and the frustration of trying to provide information has just been amazing. And I'm hoping that this will help be a major step forward as we come together and start to put the pieces together in one place. I ask for an aye vote.
So clearly the measure in the Senate passed unanimously, and then it went to the House. There was more pushback in the House, where State Representative Blaine Wilhauer raised the question about creating yet another state agency within state government.
What we're doing here,
To the
guys,
bill.
is we're creating a massive bureaucracy. We have no idea what it's going to cost the taxpayers. We're not exactly sure what we're going to do. Apparently, we have to pass this bill to be able to see what it actually does at the end of the day. And, you know, I just think that it is inappropriate to create an entire government bureaucracy without knowing those important things, especially when there's nothing keeping this from happening right now. I don't think anywhere in the history of government, especially in the history of government in the state of Illinois, have we created a bureaucracy, especially massive bureaucracy, and it worked out well for the taxpayers at the end of the day.
So Will Hauer obviously raising questions about creating yet another state agency. Democratic State Representative Will Davis on the House floor back in May, he said that this measure he had questions about and maybe some initial opposition, but in the long run he came to the term that he likes this measure.
I anticipate that we may even see savings in this. Right now, we're spending money in four different agencies. So as we start to consolidate this, you know, you'll have one director that obviously will be a state employee, and that director will have, you know, some other people underneath them working to make this happen. But again, when you're spending money in four different places and you have the opportunity to bring it possibly under one roof, and spend it in that one way, I think there are some good things that come out of this.
So State Representative Stephen Reich, a Republican from Woodstock, he pushed back on the idea of a new state agency, but he also highlights, and he's been one to be critical of the Department of Children and Family Services for quite some time, especially when it comes to their handling of daycare licensing. And how some daycare licensing provisions by rule during the COVID-19 pandemic really actually helped out the daycares that were licensed, dealing with allowing for certain people with a level of education being able to watch over children for a longer period of time. With the staff crunch at a lot of DCFS licensed daycares, their rulemaking changed that and really made their employment situation worse, limiting who could watch over children for a certain set number of hours a day. The Joint Committee on Administrative Rules really pushed back on DCFS on this issue, and one of those that did that regularly was State Representative Stephen Reich. So on the House floor last month when this measure passed, again, Senate Bill 1 on the governor's desk, he's going to sign it today, expected he'll sign it today. And we'll hear what the governor has to say about that, and we'll share that with you tomorrow with Illinois in Focus Daily. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. But here's Stephen Reich from last month on this issue.
Every government agency exists to expand its authority and expand its budget. As H.L. Mencken said, the whole aim of practical politics is to keep the populace alarmed and hence clamoring for safety by creating a series of hobgoblins, most of them imaginary.
Now, Democrats came back and said there were no hobgoblins in this bill, and it's just merely a way to try to build even more efficiency. But it did have bipartisan support in both chambers. It's on the governor's desk. He is going to sign it today. It's expected he'll sign it today. But listen, looking at the report of bills on the governor's desk, we're going to have a busy summer of reviewing a lot of the legislation that the governor has to enact or to veto or to modify. But I'm just scrolling through here the hundreds of bills that the governor has on his desk, and I'll just scroll down all to the bottom to get to the cumulative, which is 445 bills on the governor's desk. I think there's still some measures that have yet to be sent, but he has signed a handful in the past couple of weeks. So it's going to be a busy time this summer with a lot of bills being announced to be signed. And one thing we'll do here with Illinois in Focus daily is to give you both sides of the conversation of this legislation impacting you here in the state of Illinois. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Join us each and every weekday morning for Illinois in Focus Daily, and you will definitely be informed to start your day. So greatly appreciate you guys being here each and every weekday morning.